Hello, hello. So, I attempted to do a little clap there, mostly for the visual, because I cannot get these audio lines to sync up, and that's fine, because one's just engine noise. However, we are headed off to work this morning, my friends. I got to go through and edit some of my footage from yesterday, and it sounds pretty good. Like, I'm really happy with this mic. Like, for context, this chin camera and mic cost me maybe $70. So the fact that it sounds as decent as it does is, like, with the camera, like, it just came with the camera, is astonishing, honestly. I just hope I don't immediately kill it today with the slight bit of rain, since that one's waterproof, this one's not without the case, and of course I can't have the case on and connect the mic at the same time. So I think I might figure out a solution to that where I, like, drill a little pass-through in the case and find a way that I can do both at once. Something I'm discovering today. Rain at 80 kilometers an hour does not feel great. When it's thwacking my bare skin, it's an owie. That's okay. It's not raining that bad. It's just like spitting. I think it'll be fine. It's not supposed to last. I should basically get out of it by the time I'm in the city. It's really not, it's not a long-standing rain, and it's not going to last while I'm at work, so there won't be any rain to ride home in, which, like, there's nothing worse than a small rainstorm in the morning that makes me skip my bike, and then I don't get to ride it home. Like, because that's half my fun of my day, is riding my bike home. Like, it's what makes work tolerable. The motorcycle. Honestly, what doesn't the motorcycle make tolerable? It just makes traveling more tolerable. It makes just everything better. That's a stop enough for me. Lovely, lovely morning. In spite of the rain, I still think it's a lovely morning. It's Wednesday today. I gotta do some groceries after work, and that'll be fun. Totally ran directly into a spider when I was opening my gate. So, like, yesterday, I washed Shimmer, which is awesome, because now she's gonna get rained on and look like shit again, because I washed and waxed her. Because she had a gas spillage when I filled yesterday. It all overfilled all over that. So I had to clean all that off, which meant that I had to give her a full bath. And while I was putting the hose away, I noticed there were a couple, like, spiders on the gate into the backyard. So I was like, let me just blast those fuckers off, and then, they'll fuck off, and there we go. Now there's not spiders on my gate. So I just, grabbed the hose while I'm walking it back to its spot, because, you have, like, a hose on the side of the house. Like, so I had the side of the house hose, so I was, like, walking it back to the side of the house, past the gate. I noticed the spiders, so I'm like, I'm going to blast them. And I spray them all up. And then this morning, I get out there, and I guess these spiders are trying to get revenge on me, and also didn't get the memo of, I'm not killing you, I just want you to leave, so you go start a web somewhere else. They did not get that memo. So they built a web directly on the gate, which I noticed. However, on the left side of the gate, where my left hand was, like literally right where it was, they had built another web, like basically on the hinges of the gate. I did not see that one. So I go to, like, grab something to squish the main spider on, like, the gate, because I didn't have my gloves on, otherwise I'd have just smushed him. But I was like, I'm not doing that with my bare hands. I'm not feeling that before work, Like, you gotta be in the right mood to fucking raw dog a spider. I do not want that quoted. Anyway, I didn't see this spider, and so I put my arm right into it when I was going to swing for the other one and whack it off, like just kind of, brush it off and whatever. And so I go to swing for that, and I feel the web, and I go, shit, and I pull back, and I'm like, I'm trying not to overreact, because I can see the spider, and I look, and there's a twice as big spider on my arm now, and I'm like, ah! And so I had a little, panic moment, and I smacked him off, which was just, I'm pretty sure it's on camera, so if it is, you're going to see the clip right now. Yeah, assuming I did just show the clip, that was kind of embarrassing. I'm not proud of that. I'm generally not really very afraid of spiders. I was just shook. Dude was on my wrist. I was not feeling it. So, whoops. Had a little spider scaredy moment. Oh well, women, am I right? Haha. I'm certainly hoping this camera's still working with the slight bit of rain. It's not a lot. Though I do have to kind of wipe my visor a little bit. It was a Honda Pilot. Maybe one day. Either that or a Toyota 4Runner, as we discussed last time on Biswas Rides to Work and Rides Home from Work. I don't know, I guess I could just call myself Chloe on this channel. I called it Biswas because, Biswas is the username for the gaming stuff. I like that username. But Biswas was one of the guys we play with in Siege sometimes. And Blake plays with him in Overwatch and shit. He's in the server, which is, by the way, a public Discord server that anyone can join. It's always linked on my Twitch. I don't remember if I linked it on the YouTube or not, but please, anybody join. That Discord server is there for fans. Not fans is the wrong word. The community to engage with me directly. That's the idea. Although, to be clear, I would prefer nobody under the age of 18, just because I don't want to police that shit. I don't want to feel like I have to make sure there isn't some 16-year-old reading something a little too explicit from a 20-year-old. I don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? I don't think it would happen. There's nothing sexual going on in that server, but I don't want a joke to bounce off the wrong person. I'm avoiding the shit early on, okay? I don't expect the shit. I'm just trying to lay some ground rules. God damn it. Anyway, my Discord server, Manny is in my Discord server. He's really chill when he's not playing Siege. Love you, Manny. And he said it once, I think, or once or twice he said Biswas with a W. And I really liked the sound of it, so I was like, that's the second channel now. Because, you know what? I thought it was I thought it sounded a little funny. I like the idea of just adding a W to my gaming username, and now all of a sudden it's my motorcycle channel. That's mostly what it's becoming, but it is my shitpost channel, I'd call it. I just put whatever I want in there, it's my more creative side. It's just me having some fun, with these videos of my rides. Most of the time I just use I was recording them before putting them on YouTube just for my mom. We would just watch them and enjoy, because she used to ride, but she doesn't right now, so she likes to kind of relive the rides with me, which I love. I love doing it too, because I get to rewatch my rides and remember it all. And half the time I'm high during it, then that's even better. It's like riding high, but I didn't actually have to be dangerous. Perfect. Because I would never do that. That's fucked up. Don't do that. Don't drive intoxicated. So yeah, Manny came up with Biswas, but I'm fine with calling myself B-Sauce on my YouTube. That's B-Sauce. B-Sauce just doesn't... I don't know if I want to be hey, yo, it's B-Sauce here, it's Chloe. It's just me. Because that's what my channel is. This is me. Doing bullshit. You can call me B, Chloe. Whatever I want to use. I want to get in front of this dump truck. Yeah, he wasn't even going my way anyway. Okay. Now, I'm currently editing yesterday's ride, which was my first time using the dual perspective. And I'm finding myself really preferring this perspective when I'm talking to the camera. Because then it doesn't feel like you're along for the ride with me. Well, it does, but it also feels like you're watching me, like, talk to you, you know, like actually having a one-on-one, face-to-face conversation. It feels a lot more like that, which I much prefer for the kind of vibe I'm going for. I want it to feel like I'm talking to you, like we're buddies, you know? Everybody watching this shit is my friends. I don't care if I know you or not. Chances are I do, and you a real one. You know, shout out to those homies that know me. But, you know, I want it to feel more like anybody's joining, like you're watching, like you're coming to hang out. Like, that's what this vibe is. That's what the vibe I'm going for. Because the B-Sauce is more my, like, curated, the best version of myself talking about very specific video game related topics. Like platinuming games and shit like that. So that's more what B-Sauce is for. Curated, nicer videos, I'm feeling. But, like, it's funny because I think I'm just realizing now that I'm pretty sure I talked about the B-Sauce stuff on the same part of my ride yesterday, but that doesn't matter. But, like, you know, I'm not hitting my creative stride with that channel as much right this second. I don't know what it was. I had this big boost when I had all these ideas, and I have a bunch written down, but I'm like, my schedule is so weird right now that I'm trying so hard to find time to make something curated and gaming related. Because, like, to be honest, right now, I go for a ride, which I love, and I record it, and that's my chance to record a video. Like, that's my B-Sauce, like, that's my B-Sauce time. You know, that's this shit. So, like, I get a chance to record that, and then, when I go to work, you know, I work, and then I come home, and I get home after a nice ride, where I usually record something else, and then I think about, I could go for a ride with my friends, and, like, we could go do something. Or I'm like, maybe we could play some Siege tonight. Or I'm just like, it's 8:30, let me make dinner, and have a joint and go to bed. Like, you know, let me just chill the rest of the night. Chill vibes, chat with the wifey, watch Doctor Who, something like that. Like, I'm very, I don't know, I'm, like, out of a stride of gaming right now. Like, I'm not playing a lot. Which is weird, because this is, like, the first time in my life I've, like, had such an extended period of time of just no games since I was small. But I think it's good for me, actually, because I know once winter comes, I'll be right back into that shit. I'll be right back into the games with friends. Even now, I want to get back in. I need some time. I need to do one of my B-Sauce ideas too. Like, I tried the 24 hours of Platts. I said I'd try it again, and I think I will. And I think I will figure it out better, and I'll do a better version. But I also had some other ideas. Like, I don't even remember, but I know I have them written down somewhere. But I do have more ideas. And I'll have to whip those out, I think, because I want to do a B-Sauce video again. It's been a bit since I've done something properly edited. When I was at the university for a bit there, which you probably saw if you watched the B-Sauce, my most popular video, which is my review of the PlayStation Portal, there's a few spots where, there's a few, like, B-roll shots I took in an office, and that was at work. Like, when I worked at the uni, that was that. And I really do miss that, because the uni gave me some chances to, like, on the late evenings where I was just basically waiting by the phone for a prof to call or something, I got a ton of really good video editing in. At least I felt it was really good. Like, I was experimenting, I was doing new stuff, I was, like, really feeling it, because I got the chance to do it at a desk in an environment with no other distractions other than, like, purely work-related distractions, which was good, you know, like, I'm in the working mode, you know. When I go and I help out a prof and then I come back, my mind is still, like, active, I'm still in working mode, you know, so I'm not coming back to the editing, I'm still right in the flow of things. The distractions don't pull me out of the flow. they actually keep me in the flow. So I thought it was really nice editing from work. But I also know that was a huge privilege, that like that was chill with where I was working, that it was okay to do a little bit of editing on the side there, because I was still also doing all my actual work, and I was still prioritizing that. I was just popping in some edits here and there, and also like we did editing for the uni at certain times, so like some of my practice, if you could say, of editing my own videos, I would also edit stuff for the uni if it ever needed, because I had the tools for it. So, you know, it was a you scratch my back, I scratch yours type thing. And I really do miss that, because I really liked editing at work. I think I just need to have a setup in which work is more positively encouraged when I'm in editing mode. Like, I'm actually in editing mode, you know? I'm working. Even if it is only for hobby. Let me get in front of this cyclist. No fucking way. So yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like I need to get back into that headspace, because right now with my edits for this channel, I'm mostly just doing two camera. It's a bit like my unboxing videos. I just have two perspectives, the audio, and I just kind of sync it up, and I remove a few like quiet parts. And even then, I kind of like leaving some of the quiet parts in on my rides, because then it feels like one cohesive, A to B, start to finish ride, instead of like a really curated video. I kind of want it to still feel like we're just, you know, we're having a bike ride. I still want it to feel like that. So I still like the start to finish shit, with relatively little cuts in the middle. And I know that that's also because I'm editing lazy. Like, I do know that. I know that that's because, part of that is because I enjoy the fact that the editing's way easier when I do that. But, like, you know, whatever. I want my editing life to be easy. Honestly, I'd love to have a channel to the point where I was enough of a size to hire someone to edit. I hate editing. I hate it. But I've been kind of getting a little creative with this channel, which is making me feel it a little more, because I'm understanding my editing software a little better. But I really like doing that on Vsauce, doing like challenging edits, doing something a little much more professional, much more like curated, much more polished. Polished is the right word. And I really enjoy doing the more polished type content. But I also love this shit, because it's just like so basic and nothing. And I really like the easy, nothing edits. This poor guy. Hazards on. Sorry, buddy. So yeah, I think I will do a Vsauce video. I keep getting mixed up. Oh my god. See, that's going to be a problem. Need to do a main channel video. I don't even like that, because it's not like a main channel. It's just like I feel like that should be gaming stuff, and any non-gaming stuff really just shouldn't go on there. And so I'm trying not to kill any momentum it potentially has by posting motorcycle content, where it's just like long forms of my ride and shorts of my rides, to a channel that's mostly like 15-20 minute commentary gaming pieces. Let's just say they wouldn't fit, you know. It's going to get recommended to one person, and then they're going to see the next upload, and it's not going to make any sense. People aren't going to want both. Well, they might, but they can subscribe to two channels for that. They don't want them both on the same channel. So I know that. And even though they're tiny, I'm trying to get like a healthier perspective on it, instead of just like using it like this, oh, I'm gonna make something big. It's more like, no, that's my creative outlet. Like, and that's why the motorcycle stuff has really felt that way, because like I actually feel like I'm just doing something creative. You know, I'm just talking to the microphone on my ride that I'm doing every day anyway, trying to make it feel a little bit podcasty. But like, I also hate the like everybody and their brother starting a fucking podcast. So it's like, I don't want it to be a podcast. I want it to be rides that feel a little bit like that, but more polished than a podcast, you know. But then again, is it really more polished than a podcast right now? No, but that's where I'd like it to be. So like my dual perspective, I like that because that adds a little extra layer, something else to visualize, something else to look at. It just makes it a little nicer. But what I'd like to do, now that I have a setup I'm happy with, is I'd like to do videos more along the polished line of BSAWs, but I'd like to do it basically like local historical exploration. So like I know quite a bit about my township and the surrounding part of southern Ontario I'm in, like a lot of, like all these little towns. I really like looking into it, I really like learning, and I already know a little bit. Like some of the small towns I know a decent amount about, and then it's like some of the bigger stuff I don't know as much. But basically what I'd like to do is ride somewhere historical, tell you a story related to it on the ride. So, you know, this part of the ride I'm just talking to you guys. And then when we get there, I set up like an actual camera and tripod and like a good mic setup, and you get to like hear, you get to see a little bit more interesting stuff than just a Nissan dealership on Parkside Drive in Waterloo. Like, you know, it's not, no one wants to look at a Nissan dealership in Waterloo. I know that. That's fine. So I do want to make the rides more visually interesting and more of a goal. And, am I gonna get caught by the fucking LRT again? I'm gonna die. Alright, it's time to complain. This LRT intersection, it makes me so mad. Basically, I'm sitting at lights with a train track thing. Nothing goes across it except trains. Specifically, the most common one is the LRT, which is the light rail transit. And it goes up. And you can see where it goes because of the tracking. Oh, really? I didn't get stuck by it. That's what I get for complaining, I guess. So basically, some mornings, it just sits there and fills up with passengers, all the while stopping me from going forward. So I'll sit at that light for like 3 minutes just because of the goddamn LRT. So like I cannot stand the LRT. And if you live in this region, like in the cities here, the Tri-City area, and it's becoming like a GTA 2.0 in Southern Ontario a little bit. I think given like 10 or 15 years it will be. But when they were putting in the LRT, it was also a gong show because they just like, they totally cut off and closed streets for an LRT that I think was supposed to take like 2 years, and it took them like 6. Like it took way longer, it went way over budget, and they blocked off central streets in the city for years. Like there was always a street blocked in the city, like central main streets, because of the construction of the LRT. And that drove everyone insane. Especially to the people, of course, who are driving, because they're not even going to get the benefit of it. And now, don't get me wrong, I think having light rail transit as an option is super cool. Like, it's good for a city. But damn it if it doesn't get in my bloody way all the time. And you know what? I think that's where we're going to end it, because I'm right around the corner from work. And you guys don't get to see specifically where I'm working, because fuck you. I don't want you people showing up. I work retail, so like, are you fucking kidding me? I should have just gone around. If I was in a higher gear, I would have. Just go, mate. I know it was the fucking pedestrians, but like, come on. Anyway, yeah, that's it. See you guys later. Bye! Hello, good afternoon, my friends. We are on our way home from our, once again, another half shift at work. No complaints coming from me because my good friend Riley is off work today, which means we are headed to go see him. And we're going to go for a little ride around. We're going to go hit up our normal spot on Holland Mills, our favorite little road. At least I think that's where we're going to go. I don't actually know. I'm going to let him decide for once. Maybe I'll let him lead. I never let him lead. Then you guys can see the asset of the Pontiac. Anyway, so, today was a dead as hell day at work. Just absolutely nothing going on. There's the LRT here. Like, we're not going down on our side, which means should be LRT. I don't understand why it's red. There's nothing stopping us here. Like, there's no reason. I don't know how tempted I am to lane split and run the red. I swear it just stopped us just to cause congestion. Like, what's the point of this light when most of the time the LRT goes to the side? I don't really like sitting next to a truck. Okay. Interesting tactic, Mr. Van. Whatever. So anyway, what kind of conversations should we have? That's what I'm trying to figure out what to do with this, you know? Like, what kind of topics? I could talk about... I could talk about the topic I finally wanted to discuss, which was PS3 versus PS4 in terms of which one's going to be remembered more fondly. Now, when I say that, I don't mean necessarily in the nostalgia sense, like which one people are going to have more nostalgia for, though that is a factor in what I'm considering. But I mean it in a like, which one are people going to go after? You know how people right now, something like the GameCube retains a lot more value as a console, like the physical box and the games, than the PS2. And there's a multitude of reasons for that. But like, its uniqueness, its game library's exclusivity level, you know, how many games are only on that console. And like, that's only just recently started changing as Nintendo's finally starting to get comfortable with the idea of GameCube nostalgia and like re-releasing GameCube games. So like, that's part of it. That's part of my consideration, that kind of thing. But then like, the GameCube is also beloved because it didn't sell all that well. Now, when I compare the PS3 and the PS4 in terms of I've got something in my fucking eye and I cannot get to it for the life of me. Oh well. I'll get it when I stop. So anyway, in terms of the nostalgia between the PS3 and 4, I think a big reason the PS4 is going to... So, let me start. Let me start from the beginning here. In terms of exclusive games, my experience because of course this is very opinion centric. Like, I'm talking about my opinion of which one do I suspect, and also using my own bias to make that decision too. Like, I know I'm biased. So my PS4 has a really special place in my heart. Like, the PS4, because it was the console that, like, got me into PlayStation during COVID, and, like, that was a big deal for me. I finally got back into Sony, or I finally got back into console gaming, and I got into it using the console that I skipped out on in favor of one of the worst consoles of all time, the Xbox One. I will stand by that. I will die on that hill. In terms of worst consoles from the big three, because, like, you know, otherwise it's not fair. There's Atari made shit. Like, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair to compare something as shitty as, like, an Atari fucking 5200. I believe that was the one that had, like, a really pathetic... Or was it the 7200 that had a really pathetic game library? One of those I know had, like, a really... just, like, depressingly small game library. But anyway, it's not really fair to compare those against, like, anything Microsoft or Sony or even Nintendo released. So I put the Xbox One at the top of my shit tier consoles from the big three. So PS4 is special to me because of that, because I got it. It was kind of my redemption. It was my getting me back into console gaming in general. Like, it was really... It's the same reason the Switch holds some special place in my heart, was because of that. It was at the same time, but the Switch actually was part of the catalyst that got me to get the PS4. So I got the PS4, and I loved it. And, like, the PS4 is, in terms of my love for the PlayStation exclusives, I'm much more interested in the PS4 era exclusives than the PS3 era. Because, like, I'm not playing PlayStation to play multiplayer games. And I don't, and I really love the, like, story-centric... Like, I love God of War. I love The Last of Us is my favorite game franchise of all time. So that's, like, that's a big part of why PS4 is one of my favorite consoles of all time. However, if I that's a separate question to me of what do I think will be more beloved in the, like which one's going to be bought 20 years from now? Like, the way that people go out to find, you know, N64s but don't touch Atari 7200s, you know, why? And it's because it's just obviously it's because it's a better console, but, like, what makes it a better console in terms of that nostalgia and that going back to purchase. So that's what I'm currently debating between the PS4 and the PS3, is that comparison. Hey, gay bus, woo! Sorry, I got distracted by the gay bus. So that is one of the arguments. Now, the argument of whether or not which one I love more in my own nostalgia, that's a much harder topic. But if we stick to which one I think will be more, I don't want to say historically relevant, because obviously neither are going to be historically relevant, but, like, which one's going to be nostalgia chased in the same way like the GameCube does. And I personally think it's going to be the PS3. A big reason for that is the PS4 is the start of the x86, like, consistent x86 architecture. Oh, I finally got the thing on my eye. The consistent x86 architecture future that I think we're going towards. Although there's also, like, the ARM stuff. But in terms of, like, on a home console, I think we're moving more and more towards x86 architecture being the norm. I mean, the PS4, the Xbox One, the PS5, the Xbox Series consoles, they're all x86, and they're all, like, they're not compatible with one another, but they're compatible within their brand. Get out of my way, I need to get over. Fucking BMW. Oh, what the hell was I on before that BMW threw me off? What was I on about? What was I on about? Sorry, I am so... I'll have to cut that. PS3, PS4, more love. Yeah, so x86, right? So they're all shifting to this, like, what is going to be a very backwards compatible centric future, I think. Think about how, like, on PC, other than, like, some software bullshit because of, you know, just the occasional change in, like, game engines and, like, how Windows handles video games. Like, so sometimes it's hard to play XP games on, you know, Windows 11 or something. But that's mostly because of the software, right? When it comes to the hardware, compatibility between old games and new hardware is pretty good, like, on PC. You know, it's really easy to play Battlefront 2, the original, on a PC or, like, a Steam Deck, right? Like, the PC gaming atmosphere in general is much more, how you say, like, intergenerational. And I think that's the future we're moving towards with, like, PS5, PS4, because, like, PS5 plays everything on the PS4 apart from some very few ones that handle some stuff a little weird and have some issues. But, like, otherwise, it runs basically the entire library. And, like, that's big, you know, like, that's big for the new generation of gaming we're kind of in. And I think it's big for killing the nostalgia that'll happen for the PS4. So I think because the PS5, I suspect the PS6 will also be able to play PS4 games. However, even if I go off purely the information we have right this second, I think that there'll be a lot less nostalgia and seeking of the physical PS4 box, with the fact that the PS5 essentially gives you extra games, you know, a whole new game library, because PS5 exclusives are slowly coming out, you know, stuff that's no longer releasing on PS4. So you got the advantage of that, and then it also basically PS4 Pros it, so, like, it runs it at the higher FPS or the higher resolution, depending on the game, for which ones they'll do on PS4 Pro, or PS5 patches, like. So I think that's going to be a big aspect of why the PS4 won't have the same, like, nostalgia that something like a GameCube does. Now, the GameCube's an interesting one because the Wii does everything the GameCube does, and then some. However, I've never gotten the feeling from much of anybody that nostalgia for the Wii replaces nostalgia for the GameCube, despite playing all of it. And I think part of the reason is how different the Wii is. Also, a big part of the experience with GameCube on the Wii is you're still using GameCube memory cards, you're still using GameCube controllers. So it's like, yeah, the physical box ain't a GameCube, but everything else is still very GameCube-esque. Whereas PS4 to PS5, everything on the PS5 controller was on the everything on the PS4 controller is on the PS5 controller, basically is what I'm trying to say. So the experience is much more streamlined in terms of replacing PS4 in a sense. Whereas the PS3 has So you have a limited number of, well, you have a fair amount of PS3 games that got remade on PS4 or PS5. There's a fair amount. A lot of the big exclusives, sure, yeah, like they got remade. Yep, there's other ways to play them. However, the actual PS3 discs are only ever going to work in a PS3, which is, well, at least I suspect are only ever going to work in a PS3. So that immediately brings up a reason that there's likely going to be a lot more nostalgia for the PS3. It's got some uniqueness to its game library to box in terms of what it can do. If you get your hands on early PS3 models, you have the wonder of the back compat with every previous generation. Even the late gen PS3 models can do PS1 back compat, and that's awesome. So like the backwards compatibility makes that box more useful than just PS3 games. So you're expanding your library, which expands your like potential for people to want to seek out PS3s and for the value of them to stay high. That's why those back compat ones are so much money, because there's still a lot of value to the fact that you can play 3 generations of PlayStation. I mean, like right now, between a PS5 and a PS3, you can play every generation of PlayStation. 5 generations in 2 boxes. That's pretty awesome. And if we carry on with the x86 like future that I'm hoping we have, where there's a lot of back compat, it's going to be wild to think that you're going to have like the ability to potentially have a PS6 and a PS3 and be able to play every single PlayStation game. Like, that's huge, and I think that's going to keep the PS3 relevant and keep the PS3 prices a little higher, and eventually we're going to start to see the games go way up. I mean, we're already seeing the ones that haven't been remade going up, but we're also still in an era of remaking those PS3 games. So I think that's why, like, I think that's going to keep the PS3 much more nostalgic and relevant, whereas like the Xbox 360 as an example of like, it has half back compat, it was at the same era, but like not the same nostalgia for it, I don't think, compared to the PS3, yeah. So like I think that's going to be a big aspect to why the PS3 is remembered fondly and is grabbed a lot over like the 360. That lack of back compat does make a difference. But then the other argument that I think is a big reason that'll keep the PS3 relevant, at least right now, we'll see how this changes in the future if when the PS3 store eventually shuts down. However, the fact that the PS3 had free online at the time means that the games that still support peer-to-peer online, so stuff like right now I'm playing some Warhammer 40k Space Marine and its servers are still online, and the fact that the servers are still online for a game that old and there's still an okay sized community, and it's also being done on a console that had completely free online, meaning that there's no stress about like playing with your friends and needing to buy Xbox Live just to play a game that's 15 years old. You know, like I don't actually know that Space Marine's quite that old. I don't actually know how old it is. But you know what I'm saying? Like that ability to, without any subscription, play what little online games still have servers is huge. Because, like, so, for example, I am not an Xbox gamer. And I went to go play, I think it was MW2, the original, on Xbox 360, just because I wanted to hit some nostalgia. Like, I played 360 more than PS3 during that generation. I mean, it was the better selling console, more of my friends had it. I owned a Wii, but, like, more of my friends had it, so, like, I played a decent amount of Xbox. And so when I went to play MW2 on Xbox, and I went to just even click on online, because I'm like, I'm curious, you know, it's like immediately prompting me about Xbox Live and this and that. It's just like, fuck, you know, I just want to click online. I know it was better at the time. I know that was a big deal, that Xbox Live was substantially better than PSN at the time. especially in those early days when it came to the online gaming abilities. However, I think, now that we're almost 18 years later, right? Almost 19 for the Xbox. Now that we're that far away, it's like the onlines both suck in terms of compared to what they do today. But the fact that one of them's free and allows you to still go play some of those peer-to-peer games, or even just still be able to check, some curiosity. There's still a fair chunk of people who play PS3 online. I mean, if you've ever heard of, there's a YouTube channel I love on YouTube, does PlayStation content called Mystic, like Mystic Ryan, and he does a bunch of, or every year for the last however many years, he's done PS3 online in 2020X, right? Like to see who's on it and why they're still on it. Basically, like why are you still here? Why are you not on PS4? Why are you? And so, like, what I love to see about that is that a lot of those people either like didn't bother with a PS4 because of the like paid online, or they're playing games that never got remade. Which is like, that's cool that you can do that and that they can still play online. They don't need PSN accounts. Now, I'm sure lots of them have a PS4 as well. Like myself. Like, there's, I'm sure, a big market of people that still have the new console but play the old one every once in a while. But it is just it's so nice to see that community is able to retain with very little influence or anything from Sony. Like, there's nothing Sony does against or for that PS3 community, at least not right this second. The attempted closure of the PS3 and Vita stores was pretty big, but like, whatever. The fact that community can sort of self-sustain over all these years is pretty awesome to me. And I think that's partially because of the way the PS3 is. Like, I think it's very unique to the PS3 for it to be able to do that. I don't know that the PS4 is going to have that same continuity, if you will. Like, I think that'll be drastically reduced on PS4 in terms of when it becomes the old thing. Like, I mean, it's already the old thing, but it's much easier to continue to be gaming relevant with a PS4, whereas you really can't be with a PS3. If all you have is a PS3, you're not staying relevant to modern gaming. But like the PS4 right now still is. But when it's not, when that happens, when that change finally fully comes, because we're starting to see it with like new games not releasing on PS4, people getting upset about it, but it's like, dude, this happens every generation. I don't know why you're surprised. And it happens the same way every generation, and at roughly the same pace. So it's like, come on, get with the program here. But I will be very interested to see if everything I've suggested in terms of abilities for the consoles and what will make them more nostalgic and what will make them more sought after 20 years from now, 10 years from now. I'll be curious to see if what I suspect will influence it comes true. But I might be wrong. I'd love to be wrong if the PS4, the PS4 ends up more popular. That'd be fantastically interesting. But for now, it will retain being the PS3, in my opinion, being the one that's going to be more relevant. But only time will tell if I'm correct. So anyway, I'm going to get out of town and get home, and that's all for now, I guess. I might go to Holland Mills, and you guys will get to see some of that. So if there's a cut here, and I do continue writing, and you do continue to see stuff, pretend I didn't say bye. And if I don't end up doing that, bye! Alright. We're following the Sunfire today. I guess I will cut randomly. Probably. We're going for a ride. Turns out it's Riley's mother's birthday today, and he's not spending that time with her right now. How dare he? I'm kidding, he's going there literally right after. But still, I thought it was funny. I can see his sunglasses looking ass. Can I tap that? There we go. Look at him all aggressive when he gets stopped. See, the funny part is if I'm following Riley and we get in a car accident, I'll just end up in his back seat. And then he can just drive me straight from there to the hospital. I'm not sure what way he's taking right now. Like, I know where we're going, but I'm not sure why he's taking us this way. It's fine. I'll leave it to him. I let him lead after all. Brandon is?
Yeah.
Well, we were about to go somewhere to meet up with a friend, and then he calls, and apparently he's at the gas station, so that makes it easier. I don't feel like under pressure. Not the right vibe either. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Well, back we go. Where is he? Where is he? He needs gas? Look at this, removing the key from the ignition.
Pretty smart.
You say that like you've never seen it before.
I didn't realize there was a lineup for gas. Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, that's kind of how it is around here these days. I don't know why. How empty are you? What does it feel like? You're not on reserve, are you?
No.
Oh, let's just go to fucking Petersburg. And then we could just turn off like after that and go down Notre Dame. And then we can do whatever the fuck. What, did you take her through a fucking gravel road? Like, what the hell is going on up there?
Oh yeah. Took her up to the cottage.
And did it cut out this time?
No. Like coming back, it rained on me. I cut it.
Oh, alright. So it's a luck of the draw type thing.
Pretty much. You cut out, and you just like park for fucking 2 minutes, fire it up, and run again.
You're literally just letting it dry. Why aren't you taking that end one? No one's on the end. Yay! We got gas! I just turn around, I'm like, wait a second, that's open. What are you doing, dude? Kill your local pedophile! Fuck yeah, that's a good shirt!
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's so good. That's good. See, I like how he's just full on t-shirt. I'm not quite ready for t-shirt levels yet.
When he hits the ground, he hopes to die.
Yeah, that would fit. Fucking Brandon. Also filling it up well on it, like I always get off of it. But I also have to get off, get in my saddlebag, get in my purse, get in my wallet, get my card. Whereas he's probably just fucking 3 cards. I'm like, of course.
Do you pay at the pump or do you pay inside usually?
I always pay at the pump. I hate going
I
inside.
would pay inside.
I'm always just like, pre-authorize 100, fill it up, done, I can leave.
It's because I got a puller pump every time.
Skinny bastard. I was so tempted just to fuck with him, go be like, dude, you're putting diesel in.
Dude, what are you doing, man? I'm diesel.
Yo, dude, that's diesel. This pump's crossed backward. They got the fucking diesel on the gas. I know, it's confusing. The warning sign fell down. Like, I just give him a little heart attack.
That should actually happen, though.
Oh my god. That'd be a lawsuit. For sure.
I feel like it's pretty hard to fuck that up, though.
I don't know. Probably, hopefully.
You would hope so, yeah.
That other camera's just recording right now. Nothing. Up into the sky.
I gotta give you one of them. Wear it around the fucking,
Oh. It's probably only like a 15-liter tank.
oh, that's a good shirt to do, man.
How much did you have to put in it? How much did you have to put in it? $15. Whoa, that's pricey, mate.
What?
That's pricey. $15. Woof.
Break in the bank, dude.
How big is the tank?
16, dude.
Mine's 12. Alright. Well, I don't know where the hell you guys want to go. I don't give a shit.
I don't really care either.
Hayesville spot?
Sure.
Why not? See if the water's changed. I'll totally go down to the water again. That was great. That was worth it.
Way before it's even gone green.
This time I'll be sober. Be less risky. Yeah, somebody else lead. I'm not leading this time. Oh, hell yeah. That's the idea. Oh, yeah. Giver. Dang. Makes me jealous. My bike is nothing compared to the pure power. You can park at my house. Oh, he's one crazy bastard on that thing. The shirt is excellent. I gotta give me one of them. Wear it around the fucking, the local. What's that? Oh, that's a good shirt to wear him, yeah. I fucking hate this light. Go! I just hit my kill switch. It's going green. Gotta love the cyclist way before it's even gone green. Oh yeah, he's gotta get up in there. God, he makes my bike sound silent. This bastard. And he's really riding Riley's ass. To each their own. I'm not quite so ballsy. Oh, now I really got to keep up with them. So these two will go a lot harder. Oh my God, he's sitting on his passenger seat, that son of a bitch. He is such a cocky bastard when he rides. What the fuck are you doing? Ah, this son of a bitch. Oh, I don't have the acceleration! Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, that was a bunny. Well, what was left of one. Oh, I'm getting thrown around by the wind today.
How's that mirror look? I know that thing doesn't have power mirrors.
Not a line.
I know that thing doesn't have power mirrors to readjust.
It does back there. I just don't know if it's something like higher.
Oh, of course he turned right after we passed him. Wow, I can barely hear anything over the wind noise.